Hello, how's everybody doing today? It is Tuesday, aka lower body day one. Very excited to start the upper lower split. I already did one day technically, but that was more of a test run, beta test. Right now, this week, technically still in the beta test, although I skipped the first day, but that was because the first day was the first of the year. I want to chill out, relax, have a good time. And then today, second day of the year, lower body one, even though I'm doing pull-ups, but whatever. This should be a shorter video than normal. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how long these video lengths are going to be, because this day only has 6 exercises and it should be quick and easy. I could be back home before I usually am, and that's going to be kind of weird, a weird feeling, but I'm very excited. What I'm not looking forward to, and the main subject of today's video, is how packed the gym will be. It is January 2nd, like I said, so it is prime time for New Year's resolutioners to come in. I don't dislike the people that come, because obviously they've made a choice to try to better their lives, and there's nothing but respect for that in that sense. It's just literally the amount of people that are there. It's very unfortunate. I always, every year, I think whenever I'm at the gym around this time, I always like to see who sticks and who doesn't stick, and it's always great to see somebody that sticks. You know, it's like you see somebody in January that's new, and then you see them in February, you're like, oh, okay, good. Like, they survived, you know, they made it through that first initial wave and period and stuff. It's always sad to see somebody like once and then you never see them again. Obviously times and schedules can change, but it's still kind of like, damn, they didn't stick to it, and it's like, so damn close. But this is that time of year where the gym is just packed beyond belief at like random times on random days. Thankfully the kids are back at school, so they don't have to worry about the broccoli head that crowd around a lot. Well, we'll see how the rest of it is, because I assume that a lot of people are going to be in the cardio area, not the weightlifting area, but I could be wrong. I have no idea. I am looking forward to seeing the fresh faces, if there are any, because there's sometimes, I feel like there was a couple of years where like there were no New Year's resolutioners. I think like last year, I want to say 2023, when I went, I don't remember seeing anybody new, and it was basically the same, which was interesting. But I think we were coming out of the thing that happened in 2020 still, kind of, so people were still kind of like, you know, still hesitant to do stuff. I think nowadays, I think since we're so far removed from that, people are less worried and are more willing to go to the gym. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, New Year's resolutioners. I mean, I gotta give them credit in they're trying, but it's all about sticking to it, and that's what I'm looking forward to about this split. I can't wait to see how long I can stick to the split. It's very weird, like prepping the body beforehand with like warm-ups and stretches, with only doing like half of it. So it's kind of like I'm not mentally I'm prepared, but physically I'm like, I am prepared, but it just feels different. I don't have to get ready upper body wise that much. I mean, I am doing pull-ups, but that's like 3 sets and then I'm done, and it's not nearly as much physical exertion as I would full body days. That and the speed, I'm very curious as to that as well. Overall, looking forward to trying out this new split, the beta testing for this week, seeing what I can probably add to this day, because this day is probably either going to be too short, or I'm gonna have to add something else to it because there's too much on another day, on an upper day. We'll see how that goes. Eventually there will probably be, I'd probably say eventually, if I ever need to add another day, I'd probably add another upper day in between, so it'd be upper lower, and then do a 5-day split. But that's for probably a time when I have a home gym, because I do not want to do this commute 5 times a week. That, unless I'm working there, I don't want to do that. That's why I'm like, nah, 4 is the maximum. I am looking forward to today, seeing how it goes, and then seeing how full it is. I'll probably talk about that, and also probably about New Year's resolutions and stuff, and goals and stuff. By the time that this video is out, my reprogramming my program videos should be out. Should have that available so you can see what the videos are going to kind of look like in the near future. So I will see you on the inside.
All right, starting the day off with squats in the squat rack. Not a huge fan of the squat rack, honestly. Mostly because of, I don't like doing it because I like the walk back that I have when I have the other racks that are like behind this one. You can see them, because I like to do an extreme walk back with the weights on my back just to kind of get used to it. I don't like that I'm like stuck behind. So I usually, sometimes, not all the time, I will hit the back of the rack just with the bar just to like get back into it. But not always, because then it might throw me off a little bit. These squats were pretty good. They were amazing. It actually felt great. And also this weight, I'm actually doing a 25. I was actually a little intimidated, I'm not gonna lie, before this with this weight. weight because I had not done this much squatting ever. And seeing these plates on here, especially the 25s now, I'm very shocked at my ability to squat. So it is something that now I'm very proud that I can get up to this squat level and also depth and everything else. I look forward to that. Also, not many new people around here. These are all people that are on the same. Speaking about all the same people and stuff, RDLs still the same, went up as well. These were a little tougher than I thought they would be, honestly. They were very tough, but it is what it is. The gym was starting to get packed around this time, but not really that packed. It was still kind of empty, you know. This is what I consider a 7 out of 10 in packedness, I would say. No, probably like a 6 out of 10, slightly above average, you know. Nothing too crazy on this day. Like I'll say later in the video, I don't really see many new faces around, which is a very interesting thing because usually you'll see a couple of new faces and stuff, but nothing. Everybody was the same, so I'm very curious to know when the New Year's resolutioners get here. Personally, I go to the gym early, so since that is the case, I think that I won't see as many people, obviously, because I like to go from like 9 a.m. to 1, somewhere in between that. So I like to go early. I never really go later in the afternoon. I don't find that useful. Because of the time that I go, I'm only going to find the hardcore, quote-unquote, people that go to the gym and not others and stuff. Not the New Year's resolutioners. But I would imagine that there would have been like a mom or two, you know, like some type of older person and or somebody that has a like working job, like a work from home job, or like somebody had a lunch break or something, because I was there almost at lunchtime. But no, there's nothing like that, which was very interesting. Speaking about that, very interesting. I could have supersetted these with the ab crunches that you'll see later, but that was being used up by someone, so I couldn't, unfortunately. I really wanted to though. While recording this and thinking back to it, I actually remember one time I saw a guy at the gym, here actually, on his laptop, quote, working from home whilst doing his workout. Interesting to see that some people will do that. Seated calf raises, my least favorite exercise, particularly for the calves. I only did this because the leg press machine that I used for calf raises was being used at the time. And so I figured, why not? Let me just use it. It's already set up. I went way lower than the normal weight that I would usually use on this, but I had to go lighter because I didn't want to crush my knees. But with that being said, since it's been a few days since this happened, I've come with a new issue with it, and this was an issue that I had completely forgotten about, and that was my feet hurt. Because I wear barefoot shoes, I have no padding between the metal and my foot. Well, I have a little bit of padding, but it's very, 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 very minimal. And because of that, my foot is basically digging into the metal there, and it causes some foot pain, in particularly the right foot. I think I hate these. Will I keep doing them? Maybe. The way it targeted my calf felt very different than the leg press variety that I do. It's like a trade-off. Do it here and get a different stretch on the calf, but have my feet hurt, or do it on the other side where my feet don't hurt, but I'm not getting as good of a stretch on the calf as I could be in the seated version. It's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of deal. And unless this gym gets a seated calf machine that is this one that I know that another LA Fitness in the area has, unless they get that machine, I'm stuck in a catch-22 situation when it comes to the calf raises. So it is something that I'm gonna have to figure out and deal with. When thinking about it, I could probably do these on one day, probably lower day 2, and then on this lower day 1, I could just use the leg press machine, and then that way I'm only having the foot pains on one day versus the 2, and it would still be better than before because it would be 1 less because I was doing it 3 times a week. I think that would be a better compromise than anything else so far. Or just going to a completely different gym, but I doubt I'll do that. On a complete other side note, while watching myself do these wrist rollers, I could think of Devin Lariat, which will be an episode later about arm wrestling because it is something that is very interesting to me. So while I have a little bit of time before I do these decline ab crunches, which I tried, I wanted to try, I liked these a lot. I will keep doing these as much as I can if the decline bench is available. I wanted to talk a little bit about myself and my brother being actually New Year's resolutioners, kind of. Because when we went to the gym, we ended up going at the last week of November. So we ended up going the month before because we had talked about going to the gym and we were like, let's go and let's just go do it. That was the main thing. Because we could have waited. I think we wanted to wait until New Year's, and then we were like, nah, let's just do it now. We already have like the motivation to want to go to the gym, so I might as well just do it right now as we speak. And then we ended up doing it right after Thanksgiving. We just said, screw it, let's go. So then that's where that happened. We just decided to do that there. Sure, we went before, and we weren't New Year's resolutioners, and I think that's the entire point that I wanted to make with this video, is that you shouldn't wait for New Year's to start doing things. You should just start doing it immediately. Once the inspiration hits, start doing it and then start assessing a plan for everything else to follow, because once you follow a plan later, it'll all become clearer and clearer. Also, these were awesome. They hurt my abs like crazy.
And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Today, exercise is not filmed. The same, just usual dead hangs. I was adding some scapular pull-ups to them, so nothing too crazy. Today, I did everything. This was a great lower body one. Felt really, really nice. It is extremely early in comparison to what I used to get out at. To give you an example of what a Monday would look like for me, which wasn't the longest of my days, but it was probably the most filled with compounds and stuff. Monday, I would go in, let's say I get in, like leave my house at 9:30, I'd probably be getting home at 1. So right now, I left at 9:30 and it's not even noon yet. I think it's like 20 minutes till. Saved about an hour and a half, a little bit more, a little bit less. I could have supersetted ab work and the pull-ups, but I just didn't because it was being used, like it was kind of being used and I could have worked in, but I was like, screw it. But still, I could have saved like probably 10 minutes or so by doing that. And I could have been out of here by 11:30, which is insane to me because then that's a whole hour and a half that I get back basically. Says it's like a 5-minute drive home, you know, give or take, you know, a couple things here and there. But now that I know this and what I feel like I've been using today in my body and stuff, I'm like, yeah, my warm up in the morning was way too long. I could definitely shorten it by a lot. And I feel great right now. My legs feel destroyed, but in a good way. I think this first day, I want to come up with a name with like Godzilla, but with legs. So Legzilla Day, something like that. But something that makes it sound cooler than that. Maybe like Godzilla legs or something like that. The Godzilla leg day or something. I don't know. Or Godzilla lower body. Something with Godzilla. I don't know why it popped in my head. Well, just Godzilla popped in my head. And then I was like, this would be a good name somewhere in this for this day, you know. I have to figure the name stuff out. But that's small potatoes in comparison to everything else. Overall, it was pretty nice. Gym wasn't too packed. It was kind of packed, but not that packed. A lot of same faces. No new real faces. Like a couple that I didn't recognize, but then again, I don't come on Tuesdays normally. They were gonna be kind of new, but the real new people, I'll see them most likely Friday, because Thursday I also don't normally go, but I did see a lot of regulars. So I was like, oh, hey, you know, I talked to a couple of them. They didn't go yesterday, so they came today. So I was like, oh, okay. It's always interesting to see. And then a couple of others, you know, just random peeps that I see all the time there. It wasn't too packed. There wasn't, even the cardio area was kind of dead. It's cold outside. Maybe that's why people are just like not doing it, I guess, or they're not falling into the trap of new year, new me, even though that's not really a trap, but more so that they know they're not going to stick to their resolutions, so they decide to say screw it and not do anything at all, which not good. You know, it is what it is for certain people. It's like they've given up already before even starting, which is sad, but can't really do much about those types of people. They're lost anyway. It was great. Lower body one. I keep saying leg day, but it's not a leg day. It's just lower one. Lower one in the books. Very nice. Figure out Godzilla V1. I'll think about a name as soon as I can. I'm very happy with it. I'm excited because I get like basically an hour and a half to go home, even though like spreading it out makes it so I can have time at home, you know. So we'll see how the first I guess the first beta tested upper will go on Thursday, because the upper has a few more exercises, but it has more supersets. So we'll see. We will see. Anyways, I don't know why I've tried to find a transition word. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.